Hi, I'm Kim Eddleston with FamilyBusiness.org, and today I'm with Professor Rania Labaki of EdHec Business School in France, where she's also the director of their Family Business Center. Thank you for being with me, Rania.
Thank you, Kim, for hosting me.
So today we're going to be talking about governance of family businesses that have multiple businesses under their umbrella. So they're quite complex, and we really know little about their governance practices. So why is governance so complex for these family firms?
So actually, when families span several generations, they tend to own more than one business. On average, 6 businesses over their life cycle. At the same time, if you look at how we used to approach as researchers those families, we used to look at them in terms of 3 circles: the business, the family, the ownership. However, they might have multiple businesses. So together with my colleagues in a paper published in FBR, we showed that the cluster family business model makes more sense for understanding, analyzing those multi-generational families. The strategic decisions they make are very much linked to the emotional attachment, for instance, that those families have to those different businesses, but also to the rationale behind either acquiring or starting those different businesses.
And in this paper published in Family Business Review, you talk about a family business cluster model. So what is it, and how does it help us understand these family business dynamics?
So it is about really looking into the family as the center, at the center of the model, and looking at its interactions with the other businesses.
So you're saying they don't necessarily acquire or start these businesses based on economic strategy, but it could be emotional?
Yes, absolutely. For instance, for succession reasons, the business owner manager does not want the daughter or the son to join the core business. So the idea would be to send them out to other businesses. So the idea is to acquire a new one or to let them start their own business with the family's financial support. But it could also be for emotional reasons within the family, because there are rivalries going on.
So what are some of the common problems in these very complex families that you discovered in your research?
We looked at how those multi-generational families manage their governance structures, and we looked into the design of those governance structures, and we coined the terminology ownership sub-governance teams, a team of people who come together and who have same purpose. And the purpose is we want to ensure the continuity of this cluster of businesses in the family's hands. So they are always aligned on the purpose they have. They have the same motivations in terms of financial wealth creation and socio-emotional wealth creation that they want to achieve. When families have multiple businesses, they start having multiple and sometimes contradictory needs. And overlapping needs, entrepreneurial needs, financial needs, different risk-taking levels. So where to take the most risk, in which business, where to put most resources, where to be more innovative. So these are questions that come up.
So you must have identified some families doing it right, some best practices in these very large family businesses that have a portfolio of businesses. So what are some of the things you can recommend, the best practices?
The top governance team, actually, they share not only the same purpose, so they develop and use some competencies. Emotional management, so they manage to deal with all the emotional issues that are at stake. So they have this sensitivity and these competencies that they develop and use. They have also ambidexterity. So they have the competency to balance in the way the paradoxical tensions between the business, the ownership, the family needs. And they have also experience and skills in governance at large. What was interesting is that these teams operate cross-functionally. So usually they have a seat or a role to play in different governance boards and the other businesses, or they have other managerial responsibilities in a way that they manage to bridge all these businesses and to have a good understanding of their needs and to support them accordingly. And so communication is not top down, it's like cross-functional. So when we have all these features lined up, the ownership of governance team can really function in a healthy way to contribute to the family owners' harmony and also the financial performance of those complex cluster family businesses.
Excellent. So finally, you already kind of hinted at some, but what are some ways that these really complex large families can ensure they stay family businesses, right? And that the family is healthy and all of these businesses stay healthy?
So it comes back to succession. So it is really about transferring the entrepreneurial spirit. So if these clusters exist, it's because family owners were entrepreneurial. The top governance teams are made of these individuals who are aware of these values. So they have on their shoulders the responsibility to transfer it accordingly. So I think it's really about school succession, taking responsibility, and actually being a source of inspiration to the next generation.
Again, this is Kim Eddleston with Rania Labaki. Thank you.
Thank you again.